Hello, Hoboken, and we're live. Thank you for joining us. This is the Hoboken Historical Museum. I am Vera Sirota, and I'm so delighted to welcome you to Hoboken Talks. The Hoboken Historical Museum is located at 1301 Hudson Street. Our mission is super important to preserve Hoboken history and be an essential cultural center. We are so delighted to have you tune in. We are here for the next edition of Hoboken Talks, where we get to interview local Hoboken figures and characters, hear about Hoboken history, and I am so delighted. I am so incredibly honored to be here tonight with Chairperson Barbara Reyes. She serves on the Hoboken Housing Authority with such dignity and such valor. I am so honored for her to be here. In honor of Hoboken Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm so sorry. We're gonna raise our flags. Woo! Viva Puerto Rico! Barbara is the first Latina chairperson, and so we're so honored to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. And we're here in front of a beautiful picture of Mama Johnson Field representing Southwest Hoboken.
Yes.
Yay! Well, thank you for being here. We're so
Thank you for
honored.
having me again.
Thank you. All right. So we would love to get started with your childhood and about your parents and hear about growing up here in Hoboken and how your parents got here because they're not from Hoboken. So please tell us a little bit about them.
Sure. So my parents were actually born in Puerto Rico. My dad was from Reyes. My mom was from a town called Utuado. They came here as young adults. Came to Hoboken and settled here. So I was born and raised here in Hoboken.
Nice.
After settling here, my mom's sister actually married a gentleman, also a Puerto Rican descent, and had a restaurant over on the corner of Newark Street where my mom was the cook for many years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Latino restaurant.
We hear from a friend here from Zumba Dawn. That's awesome. Wonderful. That's great.
So I was born and raised here, lived and actually raised in the southwest end of Hoboken. I used to live on Madison Street many years ago, and later on I moved into the Housing Authority.
Okay, awesome. Do you remember the name of the restaurant?
I do not. I am so sorry.
That's okay. We'll have to look it up in our collection. Oh, we have a comment here. Yes, Barbara.
Yes, hi,
Let's go, Queen Bee. Oh, I love all the positivity. You so deserve it. Oh, that's wonderful. So I was wondering if you'd like to talk a little bit more about Southwest Hoboken and what it was like growing up. Your neighborhood. You feel very connected to your neighborhood. You're very proud of where you grew up and you still live there. And tell us what it was like.
Well, I want to say that Southwest End has a different feel than I want to say the rest of the city of Hoboken, where I grew up. We're very family oriented. There was a lot of Hispanics on Madison Street. We're very diverse, I want to say, as well. And after moving into the Housing Authority, again, it was still the same feel. I think that we are one of the parts of town that we stick together. Yes, we stick together. So it means a lot to be from a community like that. And to be able to help those that are in need in that community as well.
That's very touching, very meaningful. And it sounds like you're still doing that. You're still making it feel cohesive in the work that you're doing now.
Yes, I think it's not only me. I think it's the community as a whole. Again, it takes a village, right? For everything to get done. And as such, my part of town, I want to say, is very family oriented and very much community.
Right. That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. I wanted to mention you are a proud public school grad. You went to Connors for elementary school. You went to Hoboken Middle School. And you went to Hoboken High School. Tell us a little bit about, being a student in Hoboken.
Well, the days have changed. The ages have changed, right? It was a long time ago. But it was great. I mean, I was a very good student. I graduated with straight A's. Nice. I was able to during my high school years, I was lucky enough, due to my grades, to be able to go to school in the mornings and work in the afternoons with the Social Security Administration, which also taught me a lot about helping the individuals in our community and those that are in need.
Oh, that's amazing. What a great program.
It was a work study program. I don't know if it's still in place at the Hoboken High School, but I would hope it would be.
Right. That sounds super valuable. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, wonderful. Something you mentioned is that you grew up bilingual, that your parents spoke Spanish at home, and that actually one of your first experiences, like being a helper, was helping them translate whenever you go out in public, right? You're kind of like an intermediary.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, and I still am. The truth is, neither one of my parents spoke English. They spoke Spanish. So in my household, we only spoke Spanish. So me and my sister growing up, when we went to school, we were actually, our very first years, we were in bilingual classes because we didn't speak English. I learned all my English in school, and then later on was able to help my parents become their translator, unfortunately, because they didn't have anyone else that they would trust or that that could translate for them.
That's so meaningful. You're such a good daughter.
Thank
That's
you.
where you got your start, though, right?
That's correct. Helping them read letters, fill out documents, help them going to appointments, whether it was a medical appointment or anything else. I was able to help them. So yes, that's where I started, and to today, that's still what I do.
Right.
Yes,
Set you up for your career, which we could talk about.
Yes.
You've dedicated your whole life professionally to helping others. You work with an amazing, really important organization called Hopes.
Correct.
And we'd love to hear about it. And I actually think we have some pictures, Rand. I think the fourth and fifth picture has some shots of Barbara in action that we can share. Yeah, so tell us about Hopes.
So this picture here is actually my director, Evelyn Mercado. She's also like a sister to me. She's one of my biggest mentors when I came into the community programs. She's been amazing, always supported me, and I've learned a lot from her. So yeah, that would be Evelyn. To tell you a little bit more about Hopes and what we do, we're a nonprofit community action agency. We actually, community programs serves a variety of different programs. So we assist individuals with different entitlement programs. We have an assisted transportation program, which is open to seniors and in all of the county, not just in Hoboken. All our programs are, honestly. We also do adult and youth education, college readiness. We do free income tax preparation. And our offices are open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. We do have 2 different locations. Here in Hoboken, we are actually located, our main branch is located at 301 Garden Street in the Annex building. And we have our satellite office over at the Housing Authority at 532 Jackson Street. We also have 2 other locations in Union and Somerset County as well.
That's awesome. And I just wanted to share personally, my daughter went through the Hopes pre-K program.
Yes.
So thank you for the work that you do with all ages. But that's something that I personally experienced is the early childhood years and how important those are.
It's funny. I actually started with the Head Start program.
Okay.
I started over 20 years ago. I want to say, at the bottom of the barrel. I was the bus assistant for the children. Then I became the transportation coordinator and moved my way up to the programs manager that I am today. But if it wasn't for me being able, my daughter, all my children are from the Head Start program. They all attended the Head Start program. And if it wasn't for them teaching me how to advocate for them and how to advocate for myself as a parent, I probably wouldn't be able to do what I do today. I had an amazing mentor, Reyes, who was my manager at that time. She took me under her wing and she taught me everything that I know. So Hopes is very, very instrumental in what I do today and me being able to be an advocate for the community.
Well, we're so lucky. We're so lucky to have you. Oh, congratulations. You were absolutely amazing. That was so wonderful. And Rand, I think there was a picture actually that you saw. Oh, just wanted to say hello from Edward Torres.
Oh, nice.
So nice. It was Barbara and her sister, and I believe her mother.
Yeah,
It was very
that's
sweet.
yes. So I have one biological sister from mom and dad. I do have two sisters from my dad, Lynn and Carmen, who are amazing, and and I have two brothers. So I have a brother named Victor,
Yeah, there we
and
are.
I also have a brother named Orlando who lives in Florida. They're also amazing and great supporters of mine. So
Aw.
I'm very, very lucky to have a very supportive family. And my sister Rosie is, my right hand.
Wait, does she live in Hoboken?
Yes, she does.
Oh,
She lives a few blocks away from me.
Oh,
If you see
that's
one of us, you usually see the other. We're usually together.
That's
Yes,
so
yes,
great. And I love this picture with your mom.
yes.
So wonderful. I feel the love and this like feminine energy coming from the three of you. So strong
Yes.
women all together. That's
Yes,
awesome.
my mom was definitely a tough cookie.
Yeah. Hilarious. That's
Yes, that's my sister. My other sister. She's in Florida.
Oh, tuning in from Florida. That's so awesome. Wow,
Love you
look at our
guys.
reach. We're going national here. Oh, that is so wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing about that. We would really love to hear. You got your start also just in community organizing in the Tenant Association.
That's
and you
correct.
really like some Dolores Cuerta energy, like community organizing, for people. Oh, I love you. I'm so proud
That's
of
my
you.
sister.
Oh, we're hearing from all your family.
Yes.
I love it. So good.
Love you too.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that because
Sure.
you're focusing on issues related to the housing,
Correct.
but in an advocacy capacity as like a tenant.
Correct. So, when Carmelo Garcia, Executive Director Garcia, was the director at the Housing Authority, I began to go to meetings and I was just actually, I'll be honest with you, he was one of the main people who pushed me to be part of the tenant advocate because I was so outspoken about the issues that we were facing in the housing authority. I think a lot of the times, a lot of the residents fear going and speaking in public because they're scared to be how can I put it, to face retribution for going and saying how they feel or how they're living and so forth. And that never happened with me. I think I was well respected. I respected the opinions of others, but I also wanted to be heard. And I also wanted people to know what was happening. And so I became one of the biggest advocates to point out what was going right, what was going wrong, what needed to change, and the changes that we're making today. I think being a part of the Tenant Association helped me to become the chairwoman that I am today, as well as having such a great colleague like my vice chair, Erica Seitzman, who always has my back and understands. Understands, although she's not from there. I think a lot of people don't realize that you genuinely care. You can tell when people genuinely care.
Yeah, sincerity comes through. Absolutely. Oh, we're hearing from Ellen Frey. I'm a school nurse in Plainfield. Hopes in Plainfield does a lot for pre-K families. Hopes is a great organization. That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We also had a comment from yes, Carmela Garcia. It's so special to see our sister servant leader, Barbara, on your show to share her journey. She went from tenant advocate to chairwoman, sharing advocacy and love. We will watch us. That
Well,
is
thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah, that's proud of you, daughter. I love it. It's a love fest. You so deserve it.
Thank you.
Well, it's very moving. We have to make note of it that as chairperson of the Housing Authority, you are representing the community that you live in and how powerful that is and how that's really, really moving to see how you got your start and to see where you ended up.
Yes,
That's
I never thought I would end up as a chairwoman. I was a nervous wreck, to be honest with you, but it's a challenge every day. I don't think just for me. I think anyone who served in this capacity as a chairperson, it's a challenge. We have many challenges down there, but all we could do is try our best to make it better for our community.
Absolutely. Well said. And we're so grateful and wow, we're so lucky to have you. So I mentioned that you are a trailblazer. We got to toot your horn that you're first Latina chairperson of the HHA. And there's a lot going on with the HHA. What can you
That's
share with us about the
correct.
future moving forward and just your vision of, for housing in Hoboken, specifically for the residents of
Okay.
HHA?
Well, the vision that I see is the vision that I think my community deserves, which is to have how can I put it? Oh God, you know when it's at the tip of your tongue and you can't say
Yeah,
it?
it's all
Okay.
good. It's all
Um,
good.
to be able to live in places in an apartment or in a building which mold is not growing, where your apartment is not falling apart. So they deserve a better quality of life, which is why we are advocating so hard for this redevelopment. It's needed. It's literally the director always says it's like playing whack-a-mole. You fix one issue and the other issue comes up, and it's not fair to the community. It's not fair to the residents that are living in those conditions. So what I see for the future is that the redevelopment will not only integrate the community. I think that we no longer are going to feel like the forgotten part of Hoboken. I think we're going to be integrated with the rest of Hoboken and just feel
Sure.
and just feel like
You're preaching.
that's my boyfriend. So that's why I'm saying that.
Wonderful.
He so yeah, so I just feel like it what the redevelopment is going to do is better give us a better quality of life, as well as integrate us with the rest of the city, and give us a better quality of life. I think we're gonna have the amenities that we deserve and that are so needed down there. And one thing I can assure everyone is that as a resident of the Hoboken Housing Authority and the chairwoman, I would never any decision I make not only affects them but affects me. So I am wholeheartedly seeing and looking for the best outcome for our residents. We are committed, the board, to do a 1-for-1 replacement, which means that no one, absolutely no one, will be oh God.
Like left behind.
Yes,
Yeah.
or displaced from their home.
Yeah, right.
So that's one of our principles on our as a housing authority commissioner. And so yeah, I just want people to know that good things are coming there, to the housing authority. We deserve it. It's about time that we live like the rest of Hoboken.
You're really preaching right now. I love it. Oh, and Eric Kramer says people do not realize how difficult board or chair positions are. Absolutely.
That's absolutely true.
It's a lot on your shoulders.
It is. I say
It's a lot of
sometimes
pressure.
I just wish I had a magic wand that I could fix everyone's problems. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. We do try our best to help those that need it, and do it as fast as possible and as safely as possible, depending on what the situation is. But yeah, it's a hard, because sometimes you have to make hard decisions that you don't want to make.
Right, absolutely. Something that I'm noticing in your answers is how housing is framed as a justice issue and social justice issue, and how powerful that is. And especially when you talk about, bridging a divide, a class divide. And I think it's really important, we want to live our values. We have to really pay attention to housing and, make sure that people of all backgrounds, of, all ethnicities, all class backgrounds can live here in Hoboken together. And
Correct.
so thank you for having that as like a guiding principle. It comes through in your work and in your leadership and in your principles. We can see that. And I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention it earlier, this is such a feat that when you were appointed to the HHA, you had a very special vote. It was 9-0.
Correct.
For city council. So that really speaks to your credibility. Tell us a little bit about that process, like the vetting process, and how that was for you.
Sure. Well, the vetting process is basically you submit your application. The city council then looks it over. I'm not sure on their end what it entails, but I can say that when I was interviewed and the questions that I was asked by the by the council people. When the vote did come up, I did have all the votes to become a commissioner. I also want to state that it wasn't my first time being a commissioner. I was a commissioner a few years prior. Unfortunately, when my term was up, I did not reapply for it because I was taking care of my mom who was in her last stages of Alzheimer's, and I just couldn't commit to such a commitment. But unfortunately, I then lost my mom, and I know that it would have made her proud for me to continue to do what I was doing. So I decided to go back and apply for the position. And I was lucky enough and grateful enough. And I will always be grateful to the elected officials who put me in the position that I am today. And although sometimes we don't have the same values or we don't see the same things politically, I think we all respect each other, which is amazing. And it has really been great to be able to work with everyone, everyone on the city council, the mayor, anyone that we reach out to for help has helped us with open arms. So I am very grateful of that.
Well, kudos to you. That's like really amazing.
Thank you. It's not easy, but
Oh, Edward Torres says it's about time we have a person who stands up for the people who are truly lost and left behind. You're a great woman and leader. Keep speaking up for all people.
oh, thank you, Mr. Torres.
That's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. I wanted to ask you a little bit in terms of your leadership style and just like people who have like inspired you, because like you've grown so much in your roles. You mentioned Carmelo Garcia, you mentioned your colleague at Hopes. Who are some role models or mentors who've been instrumental in your journey?
So I have quite a few. I want to start off by saying, obviously, my sister, my boss, my director, Evelyn Mercado, has been a very big part of me being of being a role model for me and what she does. She's great at what she does. She's amazing. Lori Reyes, who taught me how to be an advocate for the people. I started off advocating for children and then moved up to advocating for youth and seniors and adults. So again, my agency, the people in my agencies, I want to say are all role models for me in upper management. I then, Carmelo Garcia has been a great mentor to me. He taught me about leadership. He really did. He taught me how to stand up for what was right, not be afraid. He always stated if they don't agree, it's okay. Just do it respectfully and you'll be okay. And I think that's a model that I take with me every day. Annette Shapiro, Assemblywoman Annette Shapiro is one of the most amazing people. I'm so proud that she's not only the Assemblywoman, but she's also a friend of mine. Another product of the Hoboken Housing Authority who has come
Southwest Hoboken and Connors.
yes, who has come so far. She is definitely a mentor to me. I can go on and on with people that I look up to and that I admire for their work and the advocacy as well as the service that they give to the community, especially my community. Down at the Housing Authority. Oh, that's my cousin. She's from Pennsylvania.
Family, congratulations on all you do. That is very moving. Oh, that's amazing. Well, all these people have had a big impact on you. And now the residents of Hoboken are the recipients of your efforts, your organizing, your advocacy, and your leadership. And so that's such a testament to your strength and all these wonderful people who had a positive influence on you.
Yes.
Take the village, like you said.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I've learned a lot. I've learned different things from different people. And it's okay. You learn. And I'm not perfect at what I do. I'm still learning. But, I take it day by day and just try to make sure that people understand that any decision that I'm making, I do realize it's not only affecting my community, it's also affecting me.
Absolutely. Right. And that's really important. So we mentioned that it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and so we're talking about culture and Latino culture and specifically Puerto Rican culture.
Yes.
So I'd love to hear more about what that means to you. What are your favorite expressions of, of Puerto Rican culture? What is it? How do you embody that, or how does it live in your life?
Well, it lives in my life every day, but not
There you go.
I wouldn't say cooking is like the major thing. The Puerto Rican foods. My mom was an amazing cook. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty good cook. Latino foods. So, yeah, I think I keep my roots through that. I also try to keep the culture going by teaching my kids that they are Hispanic, that they're Puerto Rican. My oldest speaks fluently Spanish. Unfortunately, my three little ones don't. But as they get older, I'm pretty sure they'll learn. And it's up to me to keep instilling in them the culture of where they came from and to be proud of who they are. So I think
that sense of self.
Yes,
They know who they are.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
My baby.
Tell us about your kiddos.
So Christina is my oldest. She's 25. I have they're smaller here. I have Victor who's 13. I have Molly who's 12 on 18, and I have Lamar who is 10 years old and is they're all amazing kids. Yeah, that's my life.
That's amazing. Aww. And being a mom. Oh, let's see. Steph says, you are and have always been an inspiration to me. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, I love all the love. Oh,
That's my brother-in-law.
Oh, where is he tuning in from?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Wow. We need a satellite office in Florida. That's terrific. Well, thank you for talking about your children. Tell us a little bit about how they inform your work and kind of how they influence it.
Sure. So it's no secret. I'm an open book. My three youngest I have dealt with mental health issues with them. So I have become a very big advocate for children who deal with mental health. I advocate in a school level to make sure that they get all the services that they need. So I think that inspires me to be better for my community and to also educate those parents who do have children who are dealing with mental health. It's okay. It happens. As parents, all we can do is guide them, get them the help that they need, and just continue to be their biggest supporter and their biggest advocate.
That's very moving. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Oh. Wow, thank you so much for doing that. You're being a resource everywhere you go, right? In all facets of your life.
Yes.
Even
and I live it.
Right, you're living it. Yeah, that's very touching. That's very touching. Well, we want to hear about how you take care of yourself. Because you take care of a lot of people. You're an empath. You take care of people in your job. You are taking care of your children. You took care of your parents as they were elderly. So what do you do, especially as someone who serves all the time and you have a lot on your shoulders? What strategies do you employ to help keep your cup full?
Well, I try to just be to have a positive outlook on everything, right? I'll be honest with you, I began therapy to kind of help me go through this. It's not easy always dealing with your home life, your work life, and then volunteering and doing what you do. Your cup is always full, like you say, and sometimes you just need to be able to de-stress and talk to somebody who doesn't see it from a certain point of view. So I have begun that. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not embarrassed to say it.
I think it's awesome.
I think that's something that has helped me to helped me and is helping me to become a better person, not only in my private life, but as well as a community advocate and in my work. So I think it's important. Sometimes, you just need it. You just need to be able to talk to someone without judgment and so forth.
And we need to break the stigma.
Exactly, that it's a bad thing.
Out the help, right? For people not to feel afraid to seek it out.
I think people don't realize that when you are that when you are in a position like this, it does take a toll on you because not everything is personal towards you. Obviously, your personal life is. But when you're dealing with the issues of the people in your community and you know that they expect you to help them and sometimes you can't, it takes a toll on you where
It's a lot of
you
pressure.
can't, where you can't do it. So I more than, recently started my therapy and it's helping and every day I do my positive affirmations and start my day with that because that helps me have a better day and be a better person as a whole.
That's a great routine. It's a great routine. Christina Velez says, my grandmother served the community with an open kitchen, and my mom is now serving the community with an open heart. What?
I love her.
An amazing.
My mom literally, she says that my mom would cook for when we lived on Madison Street. She never believed in locking the door. My door was always open. And she would feed everybody in the community, literally, like every day. So that's why she's saying that.
Well, you are such a product of that. You're building cohesion.
Yes. I learned
just
from
like
her.
your mom, right? That's very powerful. Well, I went through all the questions, but I want to show some of the pictures because
this is my mom and my dad with my sister. They were not big picture people, so we kind of had to find pictures wherever we could to provide them today.
They look really happy.
Yes, they were amazing parents. I came from humble beginnings. My dad was hurt early on. He used to do furniture and he got hurt on the job and he ended up being disabled. We lived off of his disability for years. It wasn't easy, but it just makes you stronger when you come from nothing. It makes you stronger and it makes you want to do more and be better. And that's what I try to do every day is do more and be better for my kids and my community.
I love that picture. We hear from Miriam Madero. We are proud of you.
That's my cousin.
The whole family, little blue hearts.
Love you, Jalen. I love you. These are my Jalen is my niece. I want to say these are kids that went to school with my daughter.
Okay.
And I was the house where everybody hung out with, so I'm like their adopted aunt, and I love these kids. They're amazing kids today.
It's great. It's great that
they're
watching.
doing great things. Yes,
absolutely. Oh, here's another great
picture.
These are your parents.
These are my parents. Yes.
Mom.
Unfortunately, he was sick there. He had already started the dementia. He later developed stomach cancer and died shortly after that. And as a result of that, my mom fell into a really deep depression, and it became obvious that she was also struggling with dementia. And I took care of her from beginning to end. So over 10 years, I took care of her.
That's a lot.
And I would do it all over again.
Absolutely. For your mom. That's your mentor?
Yes, this is my boss, my director. This is actually at one of our, we went to a convention and this was at one of the conventions that we were at.
You both look beautiful.
Thank you.
Very elegant. Oh,
and then this
is
sister
and your mom.
Yes, this was before my mom. This is my mom with all her grandkids. They were little, but it was one of the greatest pictures that that we have. Yes. My Molly's face says it all.
Hoboken has the most amazing children. I'm proud to be their instructor.
Yes, he is. This is our karate instructor.
Oh,
yes,
wonderful.
At the Housing Authority. He's doing amazing, great things. Yes.
That's terrific. Terrific. Oh.
And then this is again at our acknowledged volunteer appreciation dinner. So we actually appreciated Bless, which is the Black law enforcement servicing the community, and Chauncey Graham, who is actually DJ'd our toy drive last year. Every year Hopes has a toy drive to gather toys for the children in the community. In December we have a community game day where we provide those toys, and he actually DJ'd it for us for free. He provided us with the location. So
very festive.
Yes.
And for a very good cause. And your shoes are amazing.
Thank you.
Looking so amazing. Oh, that's wonderful. This is from this year, right?
Correct. This
From the
was
cookout, right?
yes. This was actually I want to say probably a month ago. It was in August.
Right.
We had some gentlemen from the Horseshoe who were older gentlemen. Most of them were born and raised there. Some were not. Some of them just hung out there and so forth. But these are gentlemen who no longer live there, but want to give back to our community. And as a result of that, they asked if I would help out with a cookout. They would have a cookout every year. This was the first cookout where we were able to close down the street and make it an entire community cookout. It was an honor to help them. They were amazing individuals who gave to the community. And if we should have block parties, this should be an example of a block party. I cannot say how the community came together. The community cooked. Everybody came together. They donated. Elected officials donated. We thank everybody who supported us. I would hope, as chairwoman of the Housing Authority, that we can continue this every year.
It's a good tradition to start, right?
To keep the community going and making it bigger and better and providing for the kids. So this day started off with a softball game for the community, and then later a cookout for everyone in the community.
Wonderful. We see Councilman Ramos also.
Yes.
From the Fourth Ward. Very nice picture.
We had quite a few elected officials. The Hoboken Police.
This is the same day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you have your cookout shirt.
Yes, I have my cookout shirt.
Very good.
We couldn't be more grateful to the Hoboken Police Department, who was with us that entire day, making sure that nothing happened, and we had absolutely no incidents. The mayor was also came, Council President Emily Jabbour, right? And of course my counterpart Erica Seitzman, who's always at our events.
So. Your vice chair.
Yes, our vice chair. Correct.
I was joking to her that you guys have a matriarchy.
We try.
Some really serious goddess energy. That's amazing. That's wonderful to see how the community came together.
Yes, it is. And, I just want to say I'm all for women empowerment, and I'm very proud that the board is run by two amazing, hardworking women who never know how to shut off, right? I think that's our biggest...
And your heart is with the people that you're serving, and that's really
it could be a downfall, but it's also when your heart is in it, there's no turning off.
Absolutely.
And so I'm very proud to serve on the board.
Absolutely. Oh, such a positive force in Hoboken, inspiring. That's what my
thank you.
I don't know if she's in Germany or in Hoboken, but that's amazing. She was traveling with her mom, and she's on our board for the museum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's a huge shout out for Myrie. That's great.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember if we have any other more pictures. Oh, look at this.
This is me and my Molly.
Aww,
yes.
Great soul.
And one of the things that I'm teaching Molly is also about community advocacy. So what I do is usually when I do have events, I take her with me so she can see the importance of helping others. And she can be a tough little cookie, but she has the biggest heart. And I think if I continue to work with her and instill those values in her, she can be an amazing young woman when she grows up who can advocate for herself and others in her community.
Well, it runs in the family. There's a lineage of strong women advocates, coming from your mom to you, to your kids. And so, love Barbara.
I love them. So that's JB from Bless,
yes, I recognize
which I spoke about. They the Black Law Enforcement servicing the community. They have not only helped me with hopes when we call upon them to help out, but they have also helped us in the Housing Authority. They have come down, spoken to our residents. When we have issues, they're the first ones I call.
Good partner.
Yes, they're amazing partners, and I'm just proud to know them and to have them to be able to help us make it better for our residents down at the Housing Authority.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, we went through our questions. We went through our photos. So it feels complete. Is there anything else you want to share about Hoboken or your life or anybody watching, especially someone who might be considering service the way, you got into? Do you have any advice for young people? are thinking, maybe, maybe should I do this? Or,
I think it's a great thing to want to help your community. If you don't try to help your community, nobody is going to do it for you. So you have to be part of the change. You can't always complain. This is my biggest thing is you can't always complain and have issues and problems but not be part of the solution.
right.
What I want to say is that I do it for my children. Again, I am a product of the housing authority. My children are part of the housing authority, and I want to ensure that I can make it a better place for them to live. And not only my children, but every child that lives in the housing authority and every family that lives there. And if your heart is in this, then it's for you. But if your heart is not in this and you have alternative motives, then I just suggest you wouldn't do it.
That's very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jack's over excellent. What is shown on the HHA logo? Oh, great question.
Oh.
It looks like a hand that's digging. Is that right?
Yes.
It's a little like
Is it like helping hands?
helping hands. Right.
That's
Right.
kind
About
of-
altruism,
Maybe
right?
it's giving keys and stuff.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
keys.
keys. Affordable housing. Yeah, it could be
Right.
that.
Right. I went to like a
Yeah.
visual arts place. That's a great question. Very thoughtful. Very, very thoughtful. Wow. Thank you, Jack. Well, Barbara, thank you so much for being here. You have already made Hoboken history.
Oh, thank you.
You have made us all proud. We are so grateful for you. Your mission means a lot to us, means a lot to me personally.
Oh,
Thank you for trying to make one unified Hoboken. We know it's a lot of work. We know it's a lot of stress. We know it's a big sacrifice. And just everybody here at the Hoboken Historical Museum thanks you for your service.
Aw.
And thanks you for, we thank you for all that you do. And
Aw.
we are so very proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate those kind words. I just want to say that I want to thank our elected officials, our council, our city, our mayor, and everybody, like I said before, who has helped us with open arms when we have had an issue. And I just look forward to what's coming for the housing authority. I look forward to the redevelopment and how it's going to help us as a community and the entire city, honestly.
Absolutely. We're the better for it. So thank you
Yes.
for your service and thank you for being a powerful role model.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this brings us to a close. We want to thank Chairperson Barbara Reyes for being an amazing guest. Oh, you're the best.
Love you, Crystal.
All of our engaged commenters from YouTube and
Oh, thank
Facebook who shared the love that Barbara so deserves. Thank you for tuning in. To everybody who shared their thoughts and posed thoughtful questions. I have to give a big shout out to Rand Hoppy, who makes this all happen, technical genius and a heart of gold. So thank you, Rand. And I also have to thank, we have Vice Chair Erica Seitzman in the house.
Erica.
Support not only for Barbara, but for me too. One of my favorite people in Hoboken. So we thank everyone for tuning in. Yeah! Woo! Yes, I'm Boricua! And just, to our proud Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. We're so grateful.
Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. So this concludes our Hoboken Talks. We're very happy that you tuned in. We will keep you posted about our next guests. So we're figuring that out as we go along. We are looking for more people to interview and to share their story and to elevate. So we really can continue to preserve Hoboken history and elevate culture. So we can't wait. We want to thank our sponsors, New Jersey Historical Commission. We couldn't do it without your support. The New Jersey Council for the Humanities. Our Shipyard Circle, we have listed here trustees and key donors. We can only do our work because of you, so thank you for your faith. We'd like to thank Iron State for our space, for being a supporter all of these years. It means so much to us. And then we have to make mention of our exhibit, which is The Fires, Hoboken 1978 to 1982, which is about housing and specifically about arson. It's a sad, tragic part of Hoboken history that continues to affect us. And it will be open until December 22nd of this year. We hope that you can come and visit, told from the perspective of the survivors themselves. Here in our opera gallery, we have a very whimsical exhibit, The Story of the Heap. It is super awesome, especially great for the kids, great storytelling. Thanks to Puppet Heap for bringing some magic to Hoboken. Please check it out. It'll be open until November 5th. And then we wanted to plug a very important event tied to housing, actually. It's a lecture given by Dr. Molly Volman-Macris, and she is going to be speaking about gentrification. She will talk about Hoboken, but also her latest research on Asbury Park. And so housing, employment, opportunities for young people, these are going to be some of the topics that she'll discuss. And what are some lessons that we can learn from Asbury Park as people in Hoboken? And what are some lessons that Asbury Park can learn from Hoboken? And that will take place on Sunday, October 22nd, here live at 4 p.m. Here at the Hoboken Historical Museum. We thank Dr. Macris for all the work that she does on gentrification. And especially housing. We really wanted to plug that today. So we encourage you to comment, like, share, subscribe. We are on Facebook and YouTube and very active on Instagram. We just keep seeing more and more growth there. So we appreciate you tuning in and staying plugged in with us. And yeah, so that's about it. We're signing off from the Hoboken Historical Museum. Thank you to Barbara. You're an inspiration, sis. Look at that. And you got another great picture of her.
Yes.
So thank you to everyone. Please come visit the museum. We look forward to you visiting, and thank you for tuning in tonight.